Welcome. My name is Demonte Madden, and today I thank you and I welcome you to the Colorado Application and Financial Aid Workshop, short for CAFA. And today I'm going to go over with my co-facilitator, Andrew Garcia, some common application essay tips for submitting essays and prompts to the University of Colorado Boulder, both our personal supplemental essay and our common application essays as well. So moving forward. Being Boulder, when looking at the University of Colorado Boulder, we first want our applicants to really think outside the box and to engage with our community about how would you define yourself as being Boulder? What type of opportunities do you find yourself choosing to fulfill your potential? Do you have a community that you're interested in, or is there one on our campus that can provide you the support and participating and having those experiences that really allow you to grow into the person that you want to be? Are there challenging environments, also those nurturing environments that we can provide for you within a 4-year time span to achieve a degree at our university? And then do we have an environment, or is there an environment that you find that will inspire you? So really thinking about what being Boulder means to you, think about the full potential, supporting yourself, support on campus, the challenges, and then those opportunities to be inspired. Some session objectives for today. We'll go over why write, personal essay prompts, CU Boulder writing supplement, letter of recommendation, and then remember, it's all about you. So my session objectives, or our session objectives, that we would like for you to take with you today is to really understand that we're asking all applicants to submit the same exact application materials. So there's not necessarily a way to get a way to really enhance your application by doing something that's so uncommon that that other students can't do. But we really want to provide the same opportunities for all of you to engage with us. So we provide you essay prompts and writing opportunities to really show us who you are. And we encourage you to work with your support systems and to ask our office and your specific CU Boulder um, admission counselor, how can you really enhance your application, and how can we provide tips and tricks for helping you to achieve your goals? So again, one of the things that I want to point out are being relevant, significant, mature, and interesting. Thinking about those type of opportunities once you're on campus and what the journey could look like for your educational opportunity. So again, being relevant, significant, mature, and interesting. When talking about an application to a college, we want to ensure students know that what is the relevance of what you're submitting in regards to your application. Does it make sense to the program that you want to go into? Does your essay match maybe your letters of recommendation? Those things really provide us at the university another step further to look at your application and to ensure that you're prepared to be admitted upon receiving your admission decision. Significant. What significant things in your life have brought you to where you are now? And you are the one who defines what significant is. So please, when you are submitting relevant, significant information to the university, it's really exposing that vulnerable side of yourself that allows you to shine the brightest. And then being mature and interesting. So reading a lot of applications over the last few years, and is it helps us make up what we do on it of our side of of the admissions desk, excuse me. But being mature really allows us to see who you are. Maybe you've grown over the last 4 years of high school, or maybe you've had different experiences that allowed you to grow a little bit quicker than maybe your peers. So thinking about what parts of your reality have shown some growth and some maturation. And then interesting. There's a lot of funny stories that you could probably tell, or more serious stories that you can tell to us. And we're looking to see how relevant, significant, mature, and interesting your entire application will be to the university. But specifically focusing on the essay parts, to really focus on, again, the relevance, the significance, the mature, and the interesting facets of all of those. So moving along to the personal essay. So below, you can see a couple bullets that provide the different prompts that we ask all of our applicants to choose from. So all of our applicants who apply to the University of Colorado Boulder as first-year applicants will have to complete either two individual statements or one personal essay. And then we want to provide students opportunity within the common application, which we only really receive for first year applicants. And then we have a personal essay that students can write to us. So there's two different pieces to write to us. And a lot of the prompts will look kind of identical, but we want to provide each and every student with an opportunity to really be familiar with the content and nothing that is too surprising. So as you can see, complete personal essay and writing supplement that are listed below. Two separate essays must be submitted. So one thing that I would like to extrapolate or pull out or pause to say, when we are reviewing applications, we can definitely understand and read and see where students have submitted maybe the same essay twice. I would encourage you to move away from submitting the same essay twice, but being a little bit more diligent about your time and your effort and finding ways to really speak to two different pieces of a personal essay or a statement and supporting details on the person you are. So our personal essays, we require 250 to 650 words. I assure you, once you get going, it might seem like 250 words is a lot, but as soon as you begin to add a beginning, a middle, and an end to close a story, you'll find yourself maybe even needing a couple more spaces for some more words. And that's why we provide another opportunity for you to submit another individual writing piece to us. So we really want to assure you not to overwhelm you. These writing pieces really are in place to help you and other students to really acknowledge that we're not trying to trick you through supplying us with writing supplements to see how well you write. We want to learn a little bit more about you, your community, and why you want to choose to be at the University of Colorado Boulder. And then listed below are a handful of other bullet points that I won't go through specifically, but you can take your time to just check out on your own individual time, either right here or on our website or through the common application to see exactly what we're asking. And then finally, if the last bullet that I would like to bring your attention to is the last one, where we have a community disruptions such as COVID-19 and natural disasters. So again, there's things that are always going around the world, and whether we know them on a panoramic level or a very local level, if they affect you, we still want to know about those things because it helps us to really gauge your application with that lens of understanding the entire context. So if you have anything that is maybe some extenuating circumstances or things that you really are pleased to tell us about, this is where the personal essay and the writing supplements can really help ensure that you have an opportunity to submit your best foot forward. Our CU Boulder writing supplement. So at the University of Colorado Boulder, no two buffs are alike. We value difference and support equity and inclusion of all students and their many intersecting identities. So we ask students to really pick one of their unique identities and describe its significance. So this is again where each and every individual student has a specific opportunity, not a comparison, but an opportunity to really reflect and extrapolate some of those fine details within their own experiences and to show those, what is that significance? How relevant is this to you and your life? What mature aspects have you really shown us through your essays or maybe your grades? And then how interesting is this to your life? And then when we are reviewing it to the larger scope. Application checklist. So we, Andrew and myself, intentionally provided application checklist along with all the other details of the application, just so students understand that we are asking a total of 8 different items. And then there are a couple optional items on the list as well. So first thing is a common application. After the students submit the common application, we will ask you to begin to submit your 2 short essays or 1 personal statement. So again, we just went over those 2 short essays or 1 personal statement. The things that I would like to bring up about those is, again, we asked for 2 different essays. So pick 2 different prompts that you want to talk about and give us 2 different narratives of the person you are, or you can just supply us with 1 personal statement. Moving on a little bit, we have our application fees, which being from the state of Colorado, Colorado Application Free Day, and then our CAFA, you should have opportunities not to really pay for any application fees. Connect with your admission counselor on a one-on-one basis to find out how some other fees could apply for you. and then between our official high school transcript and our official college transcripts. So please submit these documents to us when you are applying. We won't need official documents at the time that you do apply, but if you do, or if you are admitted to the university and you do want to make this your home for the next 4 years, we will need official documents at the time that you do confirm at the University of Colorado Boulder. And then one of the things here in regards to the COVID-19 pandemic is that our university this year will be test optional. So students have opportunities to submit SAT or ACT scores, and we really want to work with every individual student to make sure their application is on par with what they want to submit. And I would like to just stop for a second and bring up again, this is really imperative to make sure the 2 short essays or personal statement is really impactful, especially if you are not submitting any test scores. The short essays and the 2 short essays and a personal statement following the academic letter of recommendation, those are going to be some really impactful and helpful guiders when we're reviewing your application. So please submit those to us. And then moving on a little bit more specifically to the academic letter of recommendation. This is where you can have your principal speak on your behalf, maybe your guidance counselor, a coach, your librarian, anyone who has the educational context of you and can provide us and our university a little bit more details about the person you are. So pick your favorite couple people that you would like to speak about you and edify you, and have them submit those documents to our university. And then finally, our resume or activities list. So at the university, we want to really see how you're using your time outside of the classroom, outside of what a typical student is doing in high school. So we're really interested in seeing if you have a resume or activities list. Those are optional materials to provide to our university, but we really want to ensure you to provide those and give you more opportunities to be reviewed in that light. And then moving on just a little bit. So effort, attention, and detail. So bringing up this slide, Andrew, myself, and our team really wanted to help you to think about further, what are some of those more concrete ways to make my application about me? How do I make it special? So when you're going through your application and specifically the writing sections, I would like to bring your attention to, what do you do every day? What is your everyday life? How do you incorporate things of your everyday life into maybe school, into after school activities, into new roles that you've taken on and responsibilities? And then telling your story. How do you tell your story? Who in your life can look at you and help you put your story together, so then you can take one of these next transition steps in your life? Explaining your truth. When we're reading a plethora of different essays at the university, we really enjoy to read an application essay when students are really expressing their truth and their passions. So working together, expressing your truths and your passions can really help to identify some of those more finite details that are a little bit harder in other sections of your life. And then your work ethic. What is your work ethic like? Providing time into your essays is going to be a lot of work. It's going to be a lot of attention to detail. It's going to be a lot of effort. And there's going to be a lot of times where you have to stop, rewrite, maybe even just take a minute to go walk around a little bit, drink some water, and find yourself right back where you were. At any point in this process, we are here to help you. And then finally, magnificence is messy. So thinking about the opportunity to not only put an application together, but you're doing a lot. And we really want to acknowledge that this is a really intentional time in your life, and we want to provide as much assistance as we can throughout this process to help you maneuver and transition to whatever university or next steps in your life that you like to take. And then the letter of recommendation. So I spoke about this a little bit briefly, but we really want to focus on, when you submit your essays, your letter of recommendation really complements both of these when we get to go through the application process and review all the documents that you have submitted. So at this time, pick someone who can speak on your behalf, who can talk about the relevance of maybe your specific relationship, the significance of the impact of the relationship, how mature maybe you have grown over these last couple of years of this person and you building a relationship. And then interesting, providing those more intricate details that we might not know by just reading a GPA or seeing test scores. So the letter of recommendation is really provided to ensure that someone can speak on your behalf and edify you to show us why you would be a great fit at our university. And then who can write on your behalf and praise you? This is a portion of your application to brag about yourselves. So thinking about being a little bit more confident in this section of the essays and letters of recommendation to feel really to really feel that embodiment of this process in itself. And then I'll leave this up here just for a couple of minutes as we take some time to read through this. But I specifically place, or we specifically place this application from a student from way back in the day. But this application essay provides instrumental opportunity to really break down, okay, this student that wrote this essay, there's not one thing in particular that stands out that makes this essay a success or a failure, if you will. But when we are reviewing application essays, we really want to ensure that each applicant has a fair and accessible opportunity to be read and to get to know each and every applicant. So if you could just take a couple moments to really read this and go through and see why exactly you think that this is a good essay, and then we'll kind of wrap up the presentation from here. I'll provide a couple more of about 30 to 45 more seconds, and then I'll extrapolate some of the details that we thought that were helpful. And again, every application is really in the eye of the beholder. So when you're writing relevant, significant, and mature and interesting, as long as you are really encapsulating and encompassing some of those details into your application, I think your application will stand and be one of the best that we read. Nothing really allows us to feel more connected to an essay that's truthful, that's passionate, and that's really allowing us to see the other side into a transparent relationship. So as I begin, or as we begin to wrap up the presentation, some of the things that stood out was the sheer fact that when you look at the application, the aesthetics of the application stand out to you. It's not overly complicated to read. The sentences are very clear and concise, which provide us an opportunity to know exactly what the applicant or the writer is talking about. So we're not confused or assuming maybe what their intent or their meaning was. As we find our way through the different paragraphs, there's a lot of fine details that allow us to really see exactly that, some emotion. So in the second paragraph, the writer says, wearing my Brooks Brothers navy blue jacket and slacks, I sat nervously waiting for my scheduled interview. Although the questions were simple and straightforward, I found the process slightly nerve-wracking and was uncertain about the outcome. So thinking about exactly how to make a moment out of one experience and to bring us into a whole nother experience with your words. So through this essay, a lot of students have had the opportunity to write to us. They've used the same prompts, but each and every student writes about something completely different. And that's the autonomy that we want to provide to each and every applicant who is interested in the University of Colorado Boulder in ways that really provide you an opportunity to showcase who you are without us judging you, but with us here to help you and to embrace you through this process. So as I begin to wrap up the presentation, I will stop sharing my screen right now and ask if there are any questions. Again, my name is Demonte Madden, and my colleague here today is Andrew Garcia. So thank you so much. If you need to contact the Office of Admissions at the University of Colorado Boulder, our admissions email is right there, and our telephone number is also listed below. Thank you so much, and please have a wonderful day.